On Earth, there are places so strange that people cannot help but wonder whether they truly belong to this planet. In these locations, everything familiar seems to stop making sense, and the landscape appears with shapes, colors, and structures far beyond anything we normally imagine. Some lands carry surreal colors, stone formations shaped in ways that defy logic, and terrains molded by time and nature into forms almost impossible to believe. Everything looks as if it ignores every rule humanity has ever known. These places remind us that Earth is far larger than we tend to imagine. It is a planet full of mysteries, where beauty is found not only in grandeur, but also in strangeness itself. And now, let us begin a journey to explore the most extraordinary places where reality seems to bend and the familiar world suddenly becomes distant, as if it belongs to an entirely different planet. Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia is the largest salt flat in the world, covering an area of more than 3,670 square miles and located on the Andean Plateau. A defining feature of this place is its salt layer, ranging from 6 to 12 feet in thickness, creating an exceptionally flat surface that is ideal for geographic measurement and satellite research. During the rainy season, Salar de Uyuni transforms into a vast mirror that reflects the sky and surrounding landscape, producing a striking scene that attracts thousands of visitors and photographers. In addition, the area holds the largest lithium reserves in the world, estimated at around 9 million tons, a critical resource for modern phone batteries and electric vehicles. The climate at Salar de Uyuni is harsh, with nighttime temperatures capable of dropping close to 0 degrees Fahrenheit, while daytime temperatures often rise to around 45 degrees Fahrenheit. For this reason, visitors need careful preparation in order to experience this place fully and safely. The door to hell lies in the Karakum Desert of Turkmenistan and is a massive natural gas crater with a diameter of more than 197 feet, where flames have burned continuously for more than half a century. From a distance, the orange-red glow rises from the vast sea of sand like a lie in the earth, leading straight into the underworld, making this place one of the most surreal sights in Central Asia. The crater formed in the year 1971, when the ground collapsed during a natural gas drilling operation. The release of methane was so extensive that engineers decided to ignite it, hoping the fire would burn out within a few weeks. Instead, the gas supply proved seemingly endless, and the flames have continued ever since, turning the site into a haunting symbol of the intersection between natural forces and industrial miscalculation. Temperatures along the rim of the crater can exceed 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit, causing the surrounding air to shimmer with intense heat. Inside, the rock walls glow red from constant burning, creating a stark contrast between the silent desert and the fire that never goes out, as if the raw power of the earth were exposed without restraint. Although authorities in Turkmenistan have considered sealing the crater to recover the gas, the plan has yet to be realized. Scientific expeditions have approached the edge to study heat-resistant microorganisms and escaping gases, but the door to hell continues to burn, standing as an eternal torch in the desolate Karakum Desert. Vinicunca appears within the Andes as a band of color, stretched across the mountainside by wind and time. Layered minerals are clearly exposed, forming stripes of red, yellow, green, and blue that rise from the base to the summit like a vast woven carpet laid across the high plateau. Surrounding gray and barren peaks only heighten the overwhelming intensity of Vinicunca's colors. The journey to Vinicunca is long and demanding. A narrow trail cuts through high grasslands where thin air makes every step feel slightly heavier. Yet this harshness reveals details felt only up close. The sound of wind rushing through mountain gaps, herds of alpacas grazing slowly, and the dry scent of soil carrying the cold breath of the Andes. Vinicunca's colors were not painted in a single moment, but formed through millions of years of uplift and erosion. Red layers come from iron oxide, yellow from sulfur, white from carbonate, and striking blue lines from rare minerals, all merging into a landscape that feels almost unreal. Under daylight, the colors shift gently with each angle of view, as if the mountain itself were breathing. Standing at the summit, people often pause for a long time, watching the ribbons of color flow across the surrounding slopes. The space opens so widely that it feels possible to see the very horizon of Peru. Grand Prismatic Spring lies deep within Yellowstone National Park, appearing like a colossal painting created by nature itself. With a diameter of more than 360 feet, it is the largest hot spring in the United States and one of the most vivid geothermal wonders on Earth. Viewed from above, rings of blue, yellow, orange, and red radiate across the Wyoming wilderness, while drifting steam softens the scene, making it feel as though it has emerged from a dreamlike vision. Scientists explain that these rainbow colors are produced by heat-loving microorganisms that thrive at different temperature ranges. The deep blue center marks water that is too hot to support life, while surrounding bands of bacteria generate intense shades of yellow, orange, and red. Long before science offered explanations, indigenous tribes regarded Grand Prismatic Spring as a sacred place, woven into stories about the hidden power of the earth. This hot spring sits within the vast Yellowstone volcanic system, one of the largest geothermal networks on the planet. Superheated water rises from deep underground through fractures in the crust, erupting at the surface to create a spectacle that inspires awe rather than control. Today, wooden boardwalks allow visitors to observe this natural masterpiece without damaging its fragile ecosystem. As an icon of Yellowstone, the first national park in the world, Grand Prismatic Spring serves as a reminder of the immense beauty and latent power held within the earth itself. Antelope Canyon is a remarkable natural wonder, formed primarily through water erosion, creating narrow and winding passages with certain sections reaching depths of up to 120 feet. The canyon is approximately 5 million years old, shaped mainly by rainfall erosion and powerful flood flows over long periods of time. Each year, Antelope Canyon attracts roughly 150,000 to 200,000 visitors, making it one of the most photographed destinations in the United States. With its unusual beauty and distinctive rock formations, the canyon has become a source of inspiration for countless photographers and travelers. Temperatures inside the canyon can rise to around 100 degrees Fahrenheit during summer, creating an intense heat experience for visitors, while in winter, the temperature can drop below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, bringing a distinctly cold atmosphere. Approximately 80% of Antelope Canyon falls under the management of the United States Bureau of Land Management, with a total area that can extend to as much as 1.6 million acres. Sigiriya is one of the best preserved ancient rock fortresses in the world. Rising atop a massive rock formation reaching 660 feet, this site once served as the capital of Sri Lanka during century 5th of the Common Era. Sigiriya was designed as a combined palace and fortress, creating a form of architecture that feels both strategic and distinctive. The fortress covers an area of approximately 18 acres and includes gardens, water pools, and a sophisticated hydraulic system. One of Sigiriya's most remarkable features is the wall fresco known as the Nymphs of Sigiriya, painted directly onto the rock face and dating back roughly 1,500 years. Despite the passage of time, the colors of these paintings remain strikingly vivid. Few people realize that at the height of its prominence, Sigiriya could be seen from distances exceeding 30 miles, thanks to its elevation and bold architectural form. These qualities not only establish Sigiriya as an extraordinary cultural heritage site, but also reveal the creative ingenuity of humans in merging natural landscape with monumental architecture. Caño Cristales, often known as the River of Seven Colors, is a remarkable natural phenomenon created by the unique aquatic plant Macarenia clavigera. Under sunlight, the river seems to ignite with vivid blends of red, yellow, green, and dark tones, forming a mesmerizing landscape that captivates the eye. The colors shift with the seasons and appear at their most striking from July through October, when clear water and moderate levels allow sunlight to penetrate deeply into the riverbed. Although the river measures only about 25 miles in length, Caño Cristales leaves a powerful impression through its richness of color and distinctive scenery. Granite rock layers beneath the river combine with crystal clear water to produce a magical light effect, making every step along the riverbank feel like moving through a labyrinth of shimmering colors. The river is not merely a single flow of water, but a sequence of rapids, cascades, waterfalls, canyons, and serene pools. It originates from the southern plateau of the Macarena Range, beyond some of the most ancient tepuy formations of the Sierra, forming a natural masterpiece that feels both powerful and unforgettable. Sequoia trees are among the longest living organisms on Earth, capable of surviving for more than 3,000 years. To protect these giants, Sequoia National Park was established in the year 1890, becoming the first national park created specifically for their preservation. The park covers an area of approximately 631,000 acres and is home to more than 8,000 giant sequoia trees. The most prominent among them is the General Sherman tree, recognized as the largest tree in the world by volume. This tree rises to a height of 275 feet and weighs roughly 2,200,000 pounds. Remarkably, sequoia trees also possess the ability to generate electromagnetic activity that can produce heat-related effects, helping them withstand forest fire conditions more effectively. This ability not only demonstrates their natural resilience, but also highlights the vital role sequoia trees play within their ecosystem. Pamukkale is one of the most famous and surreal natural wonders of Turkey, located in the southwestern part of the country. The name Pamukkale in Turkish means cotton castle, and from a distance it appears like a mountain covered in white snow, yet it is formed entirely from limestone and precipitated calcium minerals. Pamukkale is renowned for its series of natural mineral pools arranged in terraces, created as calcium carbonate. Rich hot spring water has flowed down the mountainside over thousands of years. As the water gradually cools, calcium crystallizes and forms bright white steps that resemble frozen stone waterfalls. The entire formation stretches for nearly 1.9 miles and rises more than 328 feet, and it continues to grow each year as new mineral layers settle over older ones, a geological process still unfolding today. The landscape of Pamukkale feels entirely unreal, almost as if it does not belong to this planet. Hundreds of small pools stacked together with naturally curved edges, filled with pale blue water that reflects the stark white rock beneath. Some surfaces appear perfectly smooth and mirror-like, while the rims bend softly like melted wax, a geological form that feels both delicate and solid, as if shaped by human hands. Pamukkale is not only a natural masterpiece, but also living evidence of balance between water, stone, and time. The mineral springs continue their quiet work of building new terraces, turning this place into a natural structure that keeps growing day by day. The house on the Drina River in Serbia is famous for being built only about 10 feet above the water surface, making it one of the most unusual and daring houses in the world. The house was first constructed in the year 1968 and has since become a symbol of resilience and the ability to live in harmony with nature. The Drina River stretches for approximately 346 miles, flowing through the territories of Serbia and Bosnia and Herzegovina, and plays an important role in local life. During the flood season, few people realize that the house on the Drina River can sometimes become an isolated island, making access extremely difficult. The house on the Drina River attracts not only nature lovers, but also stands as a distinctive cultural symbol, reflecting the creativity and spirit of the local community. These qualities make it a compelling destination for those who enjoy exploration and learning about unique cultural expressions. The Meteora monasteries in central Greece are among the most dramatic monastic complexes in the world, perched atop towering sandstone pillars rising to nearly 1,312 feet. The name Meteora means suspended in mid-air, a description that perfectly captures the awe-inspiring sight of monasteries seeming to hang in the sky, completely separated from the world below. The first monasteries were built in century 14 by Eastern Orthodox hermits and monks seeking refuge from war and the expansion of the Ottoman Empire. In their early days, access to the monasteries was possible only by rope ladders or pulley systems, making these sites nearly unreachable for many centuries. Of the original 24 monasteries, only 6 remain active today, including Great Meteoron, Varlam, and Holy Trinity. Each monastery contains a small church adorned with vivid Byzantine frescoes, libraries preserving ancient manuscripts, and quiet courtyards overlooking the broad Thessaly Valley. Meteora is not only a cultural and religious heritage site, but also a geological wonder. The immense sandstone pillars formed around 60 million years ago from marine sediments shaped by long-term erosion. The union of monumental nature and spiritual architecture makes Meteora a truly singular destination, where humanity and landscape merge into a surreal and unforgettable vision. The White Desert is one of the strangest landscapes in Egypt, a silver-white valley stretching across the Farafra region, where eroded chalk rock has taken on shapes no one would expect. Many formations rise like abstract sculptures, carved by wind rather than by human hands. Here, the desert is not only sand, but a surface so bright that the eyes instinctively narrow when the sun climbs high. Ancient limestone layers once lay beneath the sea, then slowly rose and were thinned by endless sandstorms. This process sculpted bizarre forms that resemble rabbits, penguins, or towers swollen and hollowed like frozen candle wax. Every step through the White Desert feels like walking inside a natural sculpture park. As light softens, the white rock takes on a gentle orange glow, creating an unexpected warmth within the arid desert. Later, the scene transforms completely. The star-filled sky stretches like a spilled galaxy to the horizon, while the ground seems to glow quietly, as if dusted with fine powder. The longer one looks, the more this place feels like a desert version of the moon. Despite its beauty, the White Desert is not gentle. Dry winds, cold air, and sudden temperature shifts can turn a journey into a true test. Yet those who have spent a night beneath the Farafra sky often describe the feeling as standing inside a primordial world, without sound, without cities, without modern traces. Only the White Desert remains, extending until darkness erases its edges. The underwater waterfall in Mauritius is not a real waterfall, but a striking natural illusion created by seabed topography and the movement of sand. Located off the southwestern coast of the island near Le Morne-Brabant, this phenomenon gives the impression of a massive flow of water plunging into an endless abyss beneath the ocean. This remarkable effect originates from the continuous displacement of sand and silt carried offshore by strong ocean currents, forming the illusion of a submerged cascade when viewed from above. From a helicopter or small aircraft, a sharp boundary becomes visible between shallow turquoise waters and deep, dark blue zones, making the sea appear like a living three-dimensional painting. The area surrounding Le Morne is not only known for this visual phenomenon, but is also recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, once serving as a refuge for escaped slaves during century 19th. The massive limestone mountain reflects over crystal-clear waters, linking a powerful historical past with the surreal beauty of the present natural landscape. Seen from the air, the underwater waterfall feels like a moment when the Earth reveals one of its own secrets, where a change in perspective suddenly opens an unimaginable depth within the ocean itself. The Hanging Temple is an ancient temple complex clinging to a sheer cliff face, suspended high above the ground. This structure first appeared more than 1,500 years ago and is renowned for its gravity-defying position. Small shrines are connected by narrow walkways, creating a feeling that is both fragile and remarkably stable. Located on the slope of Mount Heng, the temple holds a unique role in Chinese spiritual life. It is one of the rare places where three major traditions, Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism, coexist within a single space. Its elevated position protects the structure from flooding and establishes a clear separation from the world below. Over time, the Hanging Temple has become a destination for those seeking stillness. The space around the temple opens into wide views, encouraging slower movement and quieter thought. Each pause along the way brings a sense of closeness to the surrounding natural world. The Hanging Temple extends beyond the meaning of a religious structure alone. It demonstrates how humans adapt to extreme terrain and transform belief into a lasting bond between rock, time, and spiritual life. The Dead Sea is one of the most unusual bodies of water on the planet, a closed and deep lake lying more than 1,300 feet below sea level. The water here is dense and deep blue, standing out against the pale yellow rocky mountains that surround it. White salt formations line the shoreline like vast crystal networks, sometimes forming natural circular patterns that make the surface resemble an abstract painting rather than a real landscape. The extreme salinity turns the Dead Sea into an environment where almost no life can survive. This very lifelessness gives the lake a stark, quiet, and highly unusual beauty. Standing along the shore, thick layers of salt can be seen hardened like wax, while the water reflects the sky in dark tones of blue, purple, and at times a silvery gray, depending on the weather. Mineral-rich mud is another defining feature of the Dead Sea. Dense black patches gather along the edges of the lake, so heavy with minerals that their weight is felt immediately when lifted. For thousands of years, people have used this mud for therapeutic purposes, and many ancient stories are tied to the healing power believed to exist in this land. The Dead Sea is not vast in size, yet it feels like an entirely different world, silent, dry, and filled with the white presence of salt. There is no loud movement, no crashing waves, only water that lies still as if asleep, and salt crystals slowly growing day by day. This is the kind of landscape that invites reflection, because its beauty comes from stillness and from a complete separation from everything familiar. Yellowstone, the first national park in the world, established in the year 1872, spreads primarily across the state of Wyoming in the United States. On this land, immense geothermal activity has created the largest natural system of hot springs and geysers on Earth, with more than 500 geysers remaining in continuous activity. Among them, Steamboat Geyser holds the world record. When it erupts, it launches a column of hot water rising from roughly 295 to 394 feet, accompanied by a thunderous sound capable of shaking the entire valley. This force reflects energy hidden deep below, where underground water temperatures can exceed 392 degrees Fahrenheit before escaping through fractures in the ground. Beneath the surface, Yellowstone rests atop a massive caldera, the remnant of a supervolcanic eruption that occurred around 640,000 years ago. The traces of that event form one of the largest volcanic features on the planet, where magma continues to fuel the geothermal system that remains active today. The combination of volcanic power, geothermal landscape, and scientific significance makes Yellowstone one of the most unique places on Earth, both a natural heritage site and a living testament to the planet's primordial energy. Stone Forest is a limestone region formed more than 225 million years ago, featuring unique rock formations shaped into strange and unusual forms. The structures of stone forest are primarily composed of limestone, shaped through long processes of erosion that created tall stone pillars rising upward. Covering an area of approximately 3,500 acres, Stone Forest contains thousands of stone columns, some reaching heights of up to 50 feet. The landscape creates a sense of mystery and strong visual impact for visitors who move through the formations. One fascinating phenomenon at Stone Forest is the way light and shadow produce unusual optical effects, especially during sunset. At this time, the beauty of the natural space is revealed in a particularly striking and immersive way. Few people realize that some rock formations in Stone Forest were once considered sacred within local culture, serving as sites for ancient rituals. The combination of unusual natural beauty and cultural significance makes Stone Forest a compelling destination for those drawn to exploring the natural world. Giant's Causeway on the northern coast of Ireland is one of the most unusual landscapes in the world, formed by more than 40,000 basalt columns packed tightly together like a stone road leading into the sea. The nearly perfect hexagonal blocks are so regular that many people once believed they were created by human hands rather than by nature. Around 60 million years ago, lava from volcanic eruptions met cold seawater, fractured, and cooled into tens of thousands of stone columns. Over millions of years, ocean waves eroded the surface, leaving grey-black stone steps descending toward the ocean. Seen from a distance, they resemble a gigantic instrument, as if nature itself had played an ancient melody in stone. Irish tradition tells a different story. According to legend, the giant Finn McCool built this pathway to cross the sea and challenge his rival in Scotland. When the attempt failed, the road was abandoned, and what remains are the columns still standing today. Between science and myth, Giant's Causeway exists both as volcanic evidence and as the footprint of a giant preserved in folklore. Standing on the stone shore, listening to waves crash against the basalt columns, one feels as if stepping onto the boundary between the real world and a mythical realm. Giant's Causeway is not only a geological wonder, but a place where nature tells stories through the language of both stone and legend. Tsingy de Bemaraha in western Madagascar is a vast limestone labyrinth where millions of sharp stone pinnacles rise like a forest of silver-grey metal. The word Tsingy in the local language means a place where you cannot walk barefoot, an accurate description of this jagged and unforgiving landscape. The formations developed from ancient limestone, slowly dissolved by rainwater over millions of years. As a result, an entire plateau transformed into stone towers, deep canyons, and narrow fissures, with some reaching heights of 70 meters. Seen from above, the area resembles a petrified ocean, frozen into waves of enormous blades. Within this harsh terrain, life still persists. Lemurs leap across the rocks, rare birds pass through the gorges, and endemic reptiles cling to the grey cliffs. Many of these species exist nowhere else on Earth, making Tsingy a true island within an island of evolution. Exploring Tsingy is far from easy. Visitors must cross swaying suspension bridges between cliffs, squeeze through passages barely wide enough for one person, and climb metal ladders fixed directly into the rock spires. The experience feels both dangerous and overwhelming, like stepping into a world that does not seem to belong to this planet. Deadvlei in Namibia appears like a surreal painting, with a cracked white clay floor, darkened dead acacia trees reaching upward with bare branches, and enormous red sand dunes rising to more than 980 feet. Under intense sunlight, the scene feels like another planet entirely. Around 900 years ago, this place was once a water-filled valley fed by floods from the Sochab River, allowing trees to grow in abundance. Over time, the river changed course, the water disappeared, and a hardened clay basin remained. The trees died standing, preserved by the extreme aridity, and their skeletal forms became motionless ghosts within the desert. Surrounding Deadvlei are the famous red dunes of the Namib, including Big Daddy, rising close to 1,065 feet and considered among the largest sand dunes on Earth. Viewed from the dune crest, Deadvlei resembles a painted canvas, where white ground, black trees, and glowing red sand form a contrast that feels almost overwhelming. Today, Deadvlei stands as an iconic destination of Namibia. Photographers from around the world come to capture this singular landscape where time seems to have stopped. Standing within the basin, surrounded by the absolute silence of the desert, one feels as if trapped inside a surreal dream, where nature reveals power and beauty far beyond imagination. Marble caves are a natural marble cave system stretching along the shores of Lake General Carrera. White and blue stone surfaces have been continuously sculpted by lake water, forming smooth, curved walls that feel as if they were carved by hand. Light reflected from the water causes the interior space to shift constantly, creating an atmosphere that is always changing and difficult to predict. Located near the border between Chile and Argentina, these caves are formed from marble that is hundreds of millions of years old. Lake General Carrera reaches depths of more than 1,900 feet, and the slow movement of its water has shaped each stone arch over immense spans of time. Every cave has its own structure, with no two formations ever appearing the same. As one moves deeper into the caves, shades of blue, gray, and white emerge clearly across the stone ceilings. The gentle sound of water brushing against rock creates a feeling of complete separation from the outside world. The experience invites observation rather than conquest. From this sense of stillness, marble caves reveal a deeper meaning. Stone and water do not oppose one another, but coexist within a slow rhythm extended across time. This space naturally encourages people to pause, to listen, and to recognize their own small presence before the enduring geological processes of the Earth. Lake Natron is a unique lake located in Tanzania. The water temperature can reach up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to cause skin burns and kill many forms of wildlife. This is truly an extreme living environment. The lake water level fluctuates from 4 to 30 feet, depending on rainy and dry periods, creating highly challenging conditions for life. In addition, the lake has extremely high salinity, reaching up to 100 grams per liter, which means that only a limited range of organisms, such as haloalkalophilic bacteria, are able to survive. Despite these harsh conditions, Lake Natron serves as a breeding ground for birds, most notably the greater flamingo. This makes the lake an attraction for visitors due to the striking presence and unusual behavior of these species. The lake water displays a vivid red coloration caused by bacteria and algae, creating a landscape that is visually stunning, yet potentially dangerous to animals. These characteristics make Lake Natron a place that is both fascinating and highly challenging within the ecosystem. The sanctuary of Madonna della Corona is a religious shrine perched against a rocky mountainside, almost merging with the natural cliff itself. This place is known for its profound sense of isolation, like a quiet pause suspended in midair. The presence of the sanctuary does not dominate the landscape, but exists gently alongside stone and sky. On the slopes of Monte Baldo, this site has been known for many centuries as an important place of pilgrimage in northern Italy. Its elevated position offers wide views over the valley below, while creating an atmosphere of rare stillness. The path leading to the sanctuary is tied more to an inward journey than to ordinary movement. As one approaches, the pace of the space slows and becomes subdued. Mountain wind, light, and stone surround the visitor, softening every sound. Those who arrive often spend time standing quietly, observing and feeling rather than seeking anything specific. The sanctuary of the Madonna della Corona exists as a threshold where architecture does not confront nature but accepts it, allowing people to sense their own smallness before rock and time. The Landwasser viaduct is one of the most spectacular railway bridges in Switzerland. Located on the Albula railway line in the Alps, within the canton of Graubünden. Completed in the year 1902, the bridge quickly became a symbol of Swiss engineering by crossing the Landwasser Valley with a bold architectural design that was unprecedented at the time. The bridge measures 136 meters in length, rises 65 meters high, and consists of 6 solid stone arches, all constructed entirely by hand without the use of metal scaffolding. What makes it especially striking is that the railway track leads directly into a tunnel carved deep into the rock face immediately after crossing the bridge, creating a dramatic scene in which the train appears to vanish into the mountain. The Landwasser viaduct was engineered to withstand the harsh alpine climate, from winter ice and snow to heavy summer rainfall. The integrated system of bridges and tunnels along the Albula Railway demonstrates the highest level of early 20th century engineering, earning the railway recognition as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the year 2008. Today, the bright red trains of the Rhaetian Railway crossing the Landwasser Viaduct have become an iconic image of Swiss tourism. Whether in winter, when the valley is blanketed in white snow, or in autumn, when forests turn vivid shades of gold, the sight of the bridge spanning the Landwasser Valley grows even more dramatic, drawing photographers and travelers from around the world. The Atacama Desert stretches along the Pacific coast through Chile, Peru, and Bolivia, forming the driest region on the planet, where some areas have not received rainfall for hundreds of years. Caught between the Andes Mountains and the cold ocean, Atacama appears as a surreal realm, where light, salt, and stone combine into a landscape beyond imagination. The extreme climate of this desert results from a rare combination. The cold Humboldt Current keeps moisture trapped over the ocean, while the Andes block clouds coming from the Amazon basin. The result is land without humidity, without rivers, without tall vegetation, only sand, clay, and salt. The light here is so clear that astronomers often describe the Atacama sky as the Earth's window into the universe. Beyond its dryness, Atacama is also a reservoir of geology and human history. Some of the largest copper and lithium deposits in the world lie hidden beneath the sand, while ancient remains of the Chinchorro and Atacameno peoples tell stories of communities that survived where life seems impossible. Along ancient valleys, enormous geoglyphs such as the Gigante de Atacama, a human figure measuring nearly 394 feet, carved into a mountainside, still face the sky like a message sent by ancestors to the cosmos. In the heart of the Atacama Desert, silence becomes the only language. Sand does not shift, wind barely breathes, and those who stand within this space often feel as if they are listening to the earth before life began, a place where everything remains primal and so timeless that even time itself seems to pause.